Okay, good. So, getting to our topic for today, marijuana. Is it hope or dope?
This is On the Couch with Dr. K, a show focused on answering the questions of urban and hip-hop adults rising to reach personal stars in daily life. Now, here's your host, Dr. K.
All right, good afternoon. You're listening to On the Couch with Dr. K. I am your hostess, Dr. K, and today we have a show people have been anticipating all week long. So all of you people out there who are currently smoking a joint, put it down for about an hour so you can listen with a clear head. We are asking the question, marijuana, is it hope or is it the same old dope? To my immediate right, I have our own state representative, Antonio Parkinson. But if you know him from back in the day, you would know him as Touche.
That's right. And I just looked into Dr. K's eyes and almost, got mesmerized. So I turned back around and looked the other way.
Don't look towards me.
Don't look at you, Sherman. No. Well, Sherman, look at Dr. K, man. Happened to you too, huh?
Sherman Brown, please introduce yourself, sir.
I don't know how to do it. My name is Sherman Brown.
Tell us about your book. Tell us about your life.
Okay, all right, great. Well, I'm writing a book called The Bullet in Me.
Oh, wow.
And that book's title comes from me being shot in the mouth when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the bullet went through my tongue and it lodged in my neck.
Okay.
But that book was actually a motivation for me. That bullet, man, really inspired me that I can make it.
Okay.
I had a few conversations with God during that process, but we'll talk about that in the book.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm at. I'm a self-employed. Been self-employed over 20 years. Restaurants, construction companies. I think I'm in everything but sleep.
Okay. I understand.
I think that's what I'm in. But yeah, that's what it's about. Do I keep talking or do I stop?
Well, that's great. Why don't you, since you were using your nephew for free labor today, introduce him.
You want me to introduce him?
Yes. Go right ahead.
That's Michael Jeffries.
Michael Jeffries.
Yes,
hello. We're so glad that you could come and make sure Sherman Brown got here today safely and soundly. We appreciate that.
We appreciate y'all for having us.
Okay, good. I believe we have a caller. Hi, caller. You're on the couch with Dr. K. Do you have a question or a comment?
Hey, Dr. K. This is Ronnie Henson, a.k.a. Mohan.
Oh, hi. How are you today, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So listen, answer the question first for us. What do you think? Marijuana, is it the brand new hope or the same old dope?
I think it's hope. I just feel like people just take it a little bit too far. You know what I mean? Smoking dope ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just that people need to learn how to control it when they do.
Okay, I understand. Well, let me ask you a personal question. So, have you ever experienced marijuana yourself?
Of course.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
But I still manage to take care of my business. I got my own heating and air company. I'm also trying to get in the little rap game, so everything's, it's up and up with me. It's all about how you stay focused. Sometimes marijuana can make people lose focus.
Okay, yes, I understand that. So you're saying that you believe it's hope for people, but you must use restraint and you must use it in the right manner.
Yeah, it's just like alcohol. Some people can't control their alcohol when they get on alcohol. It's pretty much the same thing.
I understand.
You have to be able to maintain when you doing it.
Yes. I thank you so much. And listen, we're going to have you on the show in April so you can come on and tell us more about your rap career and all about you. And I thank you so much for calling in today and continue to listen, okay?
All right. And I appreciate you, and it was an honor to be online.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm going to ask my gentleman here. I know, Touche, you've already given us some of your thoughts about is it hope or dope? Mr. Brown, tell us your point of view.
Man, he was saying I was just actually looking at it from a broad perspective.
Okay.
And I think it's both, because I think people or anybody, like he said earlier, it can be alcohol, it can be marijuana.
Okay.
But also it can be, people do need something. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
People do need something. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
You follow
Okay.
me? People do need something, but you don't know what that person needs.
Okay, so sounds like you're talking about it more from like a spiritual or an emotional type of situation, that people need to have something that will elicit hope in them for the future. Would that be what you're saying?
Well, I think what it is, we all trying to balance out. I think we're all trying to balance out in life. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So people just use whatever. I think they don't have. I think that sometimes they take an overdose.
Okay.
Marijuana?
Yeah, I think they take an overdose.
Okay.
Because it is a drug, right?
Yes,
So
it
if
is
it's
a drug.
and it's not prescribed to you. You on your free will. So I guess that goes with what he was talking about, maintaining and staying focused. I guess whoever use it for whatever reason, they need to know how much to take.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to have a prescription, you need to follow it correctly.
Right, because if you don't, you're going to overdose.
Okay. So then it may be good for it to be regulated.
I've never seen an overdose on marijuana, though.
Oh, really?
I haven't.
I'm going to give you the definition of overdose.
Okay.
Yeah.
On marijuana overdose is that you go do something that's not right. Overdose is you stop being focused on what you focus on.
Right.
You follow me?
And if that's the case, I've seen it many times.
Right. So to me, it is overdose.
Right. Okay.
I think overdose would be taking too much of something more than
Then it's
than is
prescribed.
prescribed, or overdose would actually cause harm. In most cases, and I'm yet to see anyone overdose on marijuana. I am, however, I've seen them, overdose on the munchies after smoking marijuana, and overdose on the refrigerator, but not on marijuana. I don't know of any cases of overdoses on marijuana or anyone smoking themselves to death. I hadn't seen that, or hadn't heard of it even.
Okay. But I tend to agree more with Mr. Brown with the overdosing, in that it is now creating a maladaptive approach to your life. I have seen people who smoke so much they don't want to go to work. They don't want to do anything. Just like they said in the song, I was going to go to court, but I got hot. It's like you had all of these plans and hopes and dreams, and you smoked them away. But then I've also seen where people who really have an illness and really need some type of help physically. And we've heard of those cases where medicinal marijuana has really, really helped that person. And it's my understanding that medicinal marijuana is a little different from your regular everyday weed. Can you answer that?
Well, not in all cases. In some cases, you have medicinal marijuana that people can ingest that will not actually deliver the regular high that smoking marijuana. Yes.
Why would you want that?
Well, some just want, right. It's not as fun as the other would be, I'm assuming.
Okay.
But you have that, and you have in so many different forms. You have forms that you can smoke, forms that you can rub on. You have the oils. You have the marijuana that you can ingest through eating.
Okay.
In a lot of those cases, from a medicinal standpoint, in a lot of those cases, from what I've understood in the education that I've gotten from it, they are helpful. I actually had an opportunity to go to Denver, Colorado after they legalized.
And they have a lot of it there.
Right, tons of it. And I actually went to a dispensary and sat with the owner of that dispensary. She owned both a medicinal side and a recreational side. And
really?
And I had an opportunity to actually interview her on video for about an hour and a half, and she really, really educated me on the especially the medicinal side. Believe it or not, she was more for the medicinal side of marijuana, but since Colorado legalized both recreational and medicinal, she had one of each, and they had to keep them separated.
Really?
In the dispensaries, yes. So they have to have a medicinal side and completely separated.
Okay.
I'm talking about two entrances, two separate entrances, and so on and so forth. And but it's a big deal. A lot of people get relief from the use of marijuana, and in cases of some of these more conservative states, it's making it real hard for people to access that relief.
Right.
But there's a lot of changes coming in. Believe it or not, there are a lot of changes coming right here in conservative Tennessee this year.
Really?
So, yeah, there's some things happening that we thought we'd never see in 100 years, but we keep on pushing that envelope, pushing that door in to try to get the people their relief. And then on the other side of that too, was very important for people to know also is that we're incarcerating so many of our people, based on, small amounts or small possessions of marijuana. So there's an entirely different angle, specifically for me as a lawmaker that I'm coming from. And because we're tying up our resources in incarceration of people for small amounts of marijuana.
Right.
And those resources can be used better served for our people, out on the streets, fighting those crimes, those crimes that matter. Like I tell people, and I'm gonna shut up here, Dr. K. But you shouldn't have put me on the couch.
No. We want you to talk.
The thing is this. We got two types of crimes. Only two types. You got the crimes that make you mad, and you got the crimes that make you scared.
Right.
And so it comes a time when we have to determine or decide which one of those crimes are we going to lock people up for.
Yes.
Because if I'm at the state legislature and I'm trying to pass a bill that would marry those that illegally sell guns to minors, right, to the crime that the minor commits with that gun, and it costs the state $70,000, and then they tell me, no, we can't pass this bill because it costs us $70,000, then we got a problem. Because we're tying up our resources and locking up people for small amounts of marijuana or petty things that we can't, and housing them, and it costs us money every day to house people in the jail, that we cannot lock those people up that are doing the real crimes that are really harmful to our communities.
You know what? You have brought us right into our stats and facts. And as you know, everyone, our stats and facts every single week, they are researched by my super intelligent intern, Stanley Shotwell II.
Shout out to Stanley.
Thank you, Stanley.
Yeah, so big Stan.
So smart, so smart. But as you were saying, we asked the question, marijuana, hope or dope? And these were some of the things we looked at for this week. First of all, I wanted to know the number of people using marijuana in the United States, the number of people using marijuana for medicinal purposes, states where marijuana use is legalized, and then arrests for possession of marijuana and sales. And I think I'm going to start with that last part, since you were just talking about people getting arrested for marijuana possession. And this is found from drugwarfacts.org. And this is total annual arrest by year and category. Now, although we had this war on crime, and it was supposed to be aimed at drug smugglers and kingpins, and that's according to the FBI's annual uniform crime reports, of those 1,552,432 arrests for drug law violations in 2012, 82% were for mere possession.
Right, and if you multiply that times $30,000 a year by each of those numbers, then you can come up with the amount of money that it's costing us to incarcerate those individuals for possession. And
Touche, you can't interrupt while I'm doing the stats and facts. You have to be quiet.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Then you can talk afterwards.
Okay. Yes,
I'm gonna charge you $20.
The doctor just slapped my wrist on the couch. Right.
For nearly half of the 48.3% of drug arrests in 2012, most of those were for marijuana. And then when you go and look at marijuana possession versus violent crime arrest, oh my goodness, the arrest for marijuana possession has risen sharply since 1980, and it surpasses arrests for violent crime by more than 100,000. But you can say, Good. Below is a chart of marijuana possession and violent crime arrests for 1980 to 2011. So if you look at, in the 1980s, you had about 300,000 arrests for marijuana and 400,000 arrests for violent crimes. Now, if you go to, in the 2000s, 600,000 arrests for marijuana and 500,000 arrests for violent crimes. So it seems like we are really targeting those things that just make us mad. And of course, guess who is disproportionately arrested?
Who?
African Americans. African Americans are disproportionately arrested for these. That's right.
I'm trying to get Sherman.
You got it on. You got it right. So if you look at the white arrest record, and this would be arrest in 100,000. It stayed steady for white people. So white people can smoke all the marijuana they want to. They get about 200 in every 1,000, but it has increased steadily for black people. We are now up to about 700 for every 1,000. So that's like double and triple of what white people are using. However, if we start talking about who is using marijuana, the numbers are the same for whites and blacks. Whites and black. You're so good with that. Whites and blacks are using marijuana at about the same rate. If we look, and this comes from a 2013 report by the American Civil Liberties Union, and they found that marijuana use was roughly the same for whites and blacks. And that is about, it states a little over 10% of the usage is about for white people and about the same for blacks. So there's no difference there, but yet we're getting arrested for it. And a lot of people, according to what we've looked at, take marijuana medicinally for pain. And if you go to look at where, where the states where it has actually been legalized, Colorado has the largest number. 21% of the patients per 1,000, they have 21.2. Their state population is a little over 5 million, and they have over 100,000 medical marijuana patients. And Tennessee is nowhere to be found in this list. So if you want to find out more about our stats and facts, make sure you go to our website, onthecouchwithdrk.com. Now, you can say something right after this break. We'll be right back with On the Couch with Dr. K. If you want to give us a call at 901-260-5926. You're listening to On the Couch with Dr. K. Marijuana, is it hope or dope? We'll be right back after these messages.
Because I got high. I was gonna make love to you, but then I got high. I'm serious. I was gonna eat your...
Karen Streeter Psychological Consulting is a firm dedicated to helping parents, schools, churches, and organizations assess and treat learning, emotional, and behavior difficulties in children. We offer services such as IQ testing, academic testing, behavior analysis, behavioral planning, preventive counseling, parent training, staff development, professional development, crisis management, and risk assessments, and so much more. To enrich the lives of your children, call Karen Streeter Psychological Consulting at 901-650-2569 or email me at kstreeter5@aol.com. Streeter's Total Beauty is a hair salon that invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of beauty today. Dial 901-649-0559. Look to Randa Patton Streeter's lifestyle blog, which also invites you to enjoy a lifestyle full of high fashion and glamour. Like her on Facebook today. For legal experience with a Christian touch, call the law offices of Attorney Victoria Gillard. We stop foreclosures and repossessions. Other areas of our practice include personal injury, civil and criminal matters, divorce, child support, child custody, and Social Security cases. Call today at 901-624-8852 for a free consultation. Are you considering buying or selling a home and don't know where to start? Call Sherman Brown of Tri-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271. To learn more about the services offered by Sherman Brown, visit her on the web at www.sharonbrown.cry-like.com or like her on Facebook today. Her success comes when your home is sold or you have the keys to your new home. Call Sherman Brown of Cry-Like Realtors at 901-355-7271 for all your real estate needs today.
KWAM 990, the voice of Memphis.
I know why, yeah. Cause I got high, because I got high, because I got high. La, da, 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 da. I'ma stop singing the song because I'm high. I'm singing.
And you're back on the couch with Dr. K right here on AM 990. KWAM. If you want to get in on this conversation about marijuana, is it hope or the same old dope? Give us a call at 901-260-5926. And Touche, our representative, Antonio Parkinson, I said I'd let you respond to our stats and facts right after our break, so now's your time.
Thank you, Dr. K.
You're so welcome.
I mean, Dr. K, you're so proper with it. I mean, I'm just loving it. You're making me pronounce every vowel in my in every word that I'm speaking.
Well, you're doing a very good job,
right.
sir.
So, Dr. K,
Yes.
thank you. Those stats were great, and shout out to your research analyst. But I want to break it down on a more micro scale into the state of Tennessee.
Yes.
And those 2013 numbers that we received from TBI said that 1,814 people were arrested for an ounce or less of marijuana and marijuana possession. So that's 1,814 lives that have been jacked up, because they had a small amount of marijuana. And watch this. Current law, this may amaze you. Current law, if you have a half ounce of marijuana up to 10 pounds of marijuana, think about what I'm saying now. You have a half ounce up to 10 pounds, you face the same exact charge as if you accidentally went out there and killed someone.
Are you serious?
In the state of Tennessee. Now, you tell me those laws aren't archaic and don't need to be changed. So you're talking about a little college kid or somebody that's running around,
acting silly.
Might have a few blunts on them and receive the same charge that someone will receive if they went out there and negligently killed someone.
That sounds almost like a conspiracy.
It does. And so, and then again, when you go back to it and you take that 1,814 people that were incarcerated for an ounce or less of marijuana, and you multiply that times $26 a day for a year, you can come up with the amount of money that it costs us to incarcerate for those small amounts of marijuana. Now, that money that could be saved there by not incarcerating those individuals can be redirected into the, putting away the axe murderer, child rapist that's running around on the street, and putting him away for the amount of time that he really needs to be put away for without being able to get out early. But because we're so bullheaded in some of our thinking, as legislators, not me, they make it real tough for us to see, and it's a common sense approach. And I hate to use that word because I don't want to slight my colleagues, but this is an approach that just makes prudent sense. Lock up the people that commit the crimes that scare us. Find an alternative for those that commit the crimes that irritate us.
Right. I like that, and that speaks to some things that I have a colleague, Dr. Byron Price, and Dr. Price, if you're listening, give us a call. He wrote a book about how jails really fund a lot of things. Now, there's a lot of money to be made. Privatization of prisons, and he just talks about the whole pipeline, even from preschool. From preschool on up, people can pinpoint and forecast the number of prisoners who will actually be within the system, and thereby they can know what their budget is going to be based on that. So it almost sounds like arresting people for these petty crimes it's a conspiracy to just make the rich richer and the poor poorer.
And it also funds, your city government. So every time, people in 201 Poplar, paying these fines to, your city courts. It's the same thing that came out in Ferguson. It came out from the DOJ investigation, that they were funding, their budget for their city government, and it's the same thing happening here. And we just have to be educated on how this thing works and how the system works, so that we can do better. Until the laws change, we just have to do better to keep our children from coming out. And just real quick to touch on, that pipeline, their formula is this, if between pre-K and third grade, if your child is not on level at third grade, then they know that the likelihood of them dropping out of school is a certain percentage of likelihood that they will drop out. So they start preparing and building the new beds for that generation of students that at the third grade are not on grade level.
That is very true.
And let me say something for a second. I'm thinking about, I'm listening to what y'all saying and about the laws, how they change, go back and forth and all that. This has not originated right now. It's been going on for years.
Yes.
But back then, when it was a problem, everybody immediately stopped until they made some noise. When they made some noise, then things got back in line.
Okay.
Right now, what we're not doing, we're not stopping. We're going along. We're riding how we can ride. We don't really care. We say we care. You follow me? But it all predicated upon how I live at home.
Right. Yes, there's a lot of apathy running rampant.
It's predicated upon that. So now, because like a doctors called practitioners, right?
Yes.
They practice.
Exactly.
On us. The system, the laws. They practicing on us. And we keep going on with the practice. If we're going to stop it, stop it. If we're not, we're not.
We have to speak out more, and we have to care about our fellow man.
We're afraid to get bruised.
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes.
We are afraid to get bruised.
Yes, we're not like, or at least it doesn't seem as if, you're seeing some of it in Ferguson, but a lot of people, if everything is going on fine at home for me, then I don't care about the hell you're living in your neighborhood. So I don't care until somebody in my neighborhood is killed, or until my nephew, who's 19 years old, who was going to go to med school, is arrested for possession because he had one joint that isn't even his. It was his friend's from the party the night before.
Let me tell you this right. When I got shot in the mouth with a 38, I was under the influence of weed.
Okay.
I didn't know what I was doing. My mom was on crack. My dad was on crack.
Okay.
I'm a high school dropout. So I was messed up. I couldn't get nobody to hear me. But I worked.
Right.
But I didn't fight. Well, I remember I had a job. I'm 18 years old, got a job. I'm making like $18 an hour.
Okay.
And everybody at the job, they got a car. They got married. They got a house. And I remember the bell ringing. The first 2 hours, it's like, go to break. The next 2 hours, eat lunch, right?
Okay.
And I was like, man, I'm being controlled.
Okay.
If I am a God, if I believe in God, and he want me to have more and prosper, I got to think on another level.
Yes, you have to think outside the box.
So when I had the job, I knew it was good. It was good money. But I was like, no, I want to be the best I can be. So I didn't fight. The boss man made me mad sometimes.
Right.
I didn't fight and cuss him out. I said, I'm going to get him back. I said, one day he's going to ride down the street and see my name on the building. So we got to find the right tools to fight with. We don't know how to fight.
Very true.
We're supposed to fight, but we're using the wrong weapon.
Right. And
where your mind at?
Yes, and when you're using the wrong weapon, you're hurting yourself.
Hurting yourself.
Let me tell you what Ezeal says from Facebook. He says, well, I don't smoke marijuana, but one thing I would like to say is this, is that marijuana is not a drug because it comes from the earth. Drugs are laboratory made. Now, if you add something else to the marijuana and then only then it becomes a drug. Marijuana has always been a healing herb for many years.
I completely agree.
Okay. All right. So, okay.
But I want to go back to something you touched on about us, our community, our neighbors. If it doesn't happen to us individually, we're not involved in the process, and that's called selfishness.
Yes.
Plain and simple selfishness. And the two biggest killers of especially the black community is selfishness and pride. Right, selfishness and pride. Either we're too proud to apologize, or we're too proud to do the right, accept help. I never forget. I'm a community person. I am an on the ground person with the people.
Okay.
And I never forget. We were doing something for this young lady in Fraser, and we were talking to her, and she explained to me that because, and watch this, Doc.
Yes.
Because some of our single mothers, young single mothers, they're flexing and balling on Facebook and on Instagram, you know, with their new bundles, you know. So when Christmas comes around and their kids have access to no toys or don't have any toys or they need some food, they don't have any food in the house, they're too proud to go and stand in that line to make sure that the child has a good Christmas.
Right.
Now watch that. That's pride.
Yes.
That's pride. Now you've income tax balled for that whole 2 weeks after you got your taxes back and spent your money up on the things that were not the things that you probably should have spent them on.
Right.
And then when it comes time for your or your child is in need, now you're too proud to go in there and make the ask for it. And that's pride.
Yes.
And then you tap into the selfishness, the fact that it's not me, so I'm not going to get bothered. It's not me, so I'm not going to go and vote. It's not affecting me, so I'm not going to go and help. You know, and that's what's killing our communities. Those two things.
Right.
Number one and number two, and they're cousins and they come with each other.
Well, now some people like Suzanne would say those people don't care because they're all high.
I disagree with that.
Suzanne says marijuana is not the new hope for the sick. I agree. Those who use it should not end up in jail. Currently, it seems its use is overly popular among people and, quote, glamorized. I would like a requirement for more funds to be used for education and for other alternatives than smoking marijuana, and I would like to see the use of marijuana de-glamorized.
I wonder if Suzanne has ever been sick and had to deal with intractable seizures or any of these other diseases that marijuana brings relief to, or any of her relatives, like a child or a mother that she has to care for that would need access to it. Because I've seen at the state legislature where they are wheeling WHEELING their family members in because their family members need relief, or that baby that mother is carrying. You know, that if that baby didn't have access not to smoking marijuana but access to marijuana, you know, where this baby's seizures would continue, and to watch your child, you know, going to these seizures, and the state tell you that there's nothing that we are going to do to help you, and if you do something, then we're going to arrest you. That's a problem. Now,
Right, exactly. And I know a lot of people will do anything to make sure their children are okay. Now, Shelly Michelle on Facebook says that she says, no, Dr. K, I don't smoke anymore. It's been 25 years now, but I drink hemp milk. Leave weed alone now. I think it should remain in medicinal form only when it could be consumed orally, which I feel is more effective in treating the ailment. I feel to smoke, it is offensive. Now, that brings up another point here. It seems like a lot of people are objecting to the legalization of marijuana for ethical reasons. Like it seems like they're just very upset about it in terms of just what their beliefs are, and they're not really open to hearing anything about the research and how it can be helpful. What do you say to that, Mr. Brown?
I think we're all like that as a person. I think when we don't want to hear something, we're closed ears to it. I think that's how a lot of us got lost, because we don't listen. We don't like to be educated. You follow?
Right.
We like to act like we're educated, and we're so emotional. You know, we're emotionally driven. You follow?
Yes.
If
Very
it's too
much
hot
so.
outside, I'm not going in. I'm staying in the house. I know God say go outside, but I'm staying inside because it feels good inside. If we take that step, and we're biased. No, we just, I think, you know, when we talking, I'm not prejudiced because I got a lot of white friends that I love. They love me too, so I ain't prejudiced at all. But I think that we're the only breed that's mixed. I'm just being real.
Okay. When you say the only breed that's mixed, tell me what you mean.
Like, you know, we forgot, like, man, just my own example, but I'm got to tell you, like, you can have a pit bull and a German Shepherd.
Okay.
They can have a baby, right? I mean, a puppy. That puppy's mixed.
Okay.
So you don't really know. He don't know if you need to act like a pit bull.
Okay.
Or he don't know if he need to act like a German Shepherd.
Okay, I get you.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think, and we got to realize, but we got to go back to the root and see who we are.
Yes, African Americans specifically, because we're not really African, because we are mixed with other people or other races inside of us. And we're a brand new breed.
But in all that, we're still kings and queens.
Yes, exactly. I agree with that.
The world is trying to get like us. We so blind, we trying to get like the world.
So we need to be introspective and really think about who we are and what we believe in.
And the kids right now in school, they need one thing to make it.
Okay.
They only need one thing right now to make it. We only need one thing to make it.
And that would be?
Confidence.
Okay, I like that. And you're right. Like, the way you think is the way you're going to go.
Tell me, that's all you need.
If you believe that you can make it, or if you believe that you can't make it, you're right either way.
Right, and don't believe because you made mistakes that
they're going to follow you.
No, that you made a mistake, because I can make a mistake right now, and sometimes we shoot our own self. I've been shooting myself so long, it's crazy. I'll sit beside Touche, Antonio Parkinson. I'll sit by my man. To give you an example, I'll sit by him and I'll mess up, and I'm like, dang, I know I messed up. He gonna look at me like that because I messed up.
Right.
Right.
And he may not be doing that at all, but it's all in your mind. And that leads us to our 4-point star for today, because when you really think about it, everybody wants to feel good. They want to feel relaxed. They want to feel confident. And that's really how you feel when you're high. So our word for today is high. Let's say it all together. High. Let's spell it together. H-I-G-H. Very good. High. H. Number 1. How can you be so closed-minded? We need to open our minds and really make ourselves available to hear both sides of any situation. Because we need to investigate. We need to find out what's happening. We need to know about side effects. We need to know about the side effects that society will suffer, or maybe the side effects that will make society better if we decide to move forward with medical marijuana. G, you need to give things a chance. Don't automatically have this knee-jerk reaction to something because of what you believe in. Because sometimes our beliefs are not, they're not rooted in truth. They're just rooted in maybe history or what we believe, but not necessarily in what's going on. Because H, we all want healing. Everybody wants to be healed. Whether we get that healing from medicinal marijuana or from therapy or whatever, everyone has pain. And we've heard that marijuana is used a lot for physical pain, but we all have physical pain, emotional pain, all different types of pain, and everyone wants to be healed. So you want to remember, everybody wants to feel high. So make sure that you are keeping your mind open, investigating, looking at both sides so that we all can be healed. And that is our 4-point star for today. And wow, we are almost out of time. So I'm going to give everybody their 10 seconds to shine. And I'm going to start with you, Representative Antonio Parkinson, also known as Touche.
Okay, thank you. I don't need to shine here, but I just want to one of them H's should have been used for hypocrisy. You know, because in one hand you tell us we shouldn't legalize or decriminalize marijuana, but yet you go to that bar right there and turn that bottle up.
Right.
Now, and it is a fact that alcohol is a worse a drug and more addictive and more dangerous than marijuana has been or has ever been or will ever be.
Right.
And so in Tennessee we celebrate alcohol with Jack Daniels. You know, it's Tennessee born and bred, made.
Yes, right.
You know, we celebrate that.
Right.
But yet we want to tell these individuals or these people that need relief because of their ailments, because of their diseases, that they cannot have that relief. So that's my 10 seconds. I don't want to shine. I just wanted to shine for somebody else that needs to help by us decriminalizing or giving access to medicinal marijuana.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
I guess it ain't about shining. I know there's one H you had in there, but that word called, we should use history.
History.
I think we all, based on everybody else's history, get your own history. But the book that I'm writing is called The Bullet in Me, and it's giving you uncut how to make it. You follow me?
Yes.
It's not. It's governed by what I've been through, and I think I'm not trying to change the world, but if I could spark the minds of the ones who can.
Wow.
That's what this book is about.
Good. $20 for that shameless plug.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and I need, that's gonna get my. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, thank you so much, and I'm so happy to have you in the studio today, Randa. Did you have anything you want to say in our last 10 seconds?
Well,
You have to get a mic, sweetie.
I guess I've never tried marijuana, but if I was put in a situation where I needed it for medicinal purposes or to stop nausea, I would use it.
Yeah.
And from watching certain episodes on TV, there were people using it to stop that. So I guess it depends on what's going on with you.
Right, exactly. Okay, thank you so much. And wow, we're out of time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And as always in parting, I wish everyone a life full of love, peace, and happiness. Yes. If you cannot be in love, then at least try to be happy. If you can't be happy, then at least try to be peaceful. But when your peace has been disturbed, it's time for you to change your situation.
Wow.
You've been listening to On the Couch with Dr. K right here on AM 990 KWAM. We will see you next time on the radio. Remember to like us on Facebook and go to our brand new website, onthecouchwithdrk.com. And we're going to go out with our song, Bible Out. And that is written by DeMercy. I don't have his last name. He'll call in. But if you go to my website, you'll see his name there. We love this song. We're going to be using it. Go out and get this song, Bible Out. We all need some help. Whether you're looking at the Bible, the Quran, or the Tri-State Defender, we all need some information. Thank you, and listen again. Great show, everybody. Give yourselves a hand. Wave at the camera. Bye. See you later.
Enemies start approaching me, I still back